Hello, I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and I'll be playing Lady Nienna, the A&She sorceress.
Hey y'all, I'm Grizz, and I'll be playing Fenix, the werewolf craftsman.
Hello, my name is Legacy, and I'll be playing Brynnhilder, the Witcher.
Hi, I'm Overthinker, and I'll be playing Irileth, the elven assassin.
Hi there, I'm Stabbykinz. I'll be playing Siegryn, the dwarven merchant.
Hello, my name is Jimmy, and I'll be playing Oswald, the Witcher.
And I'm Solomon, and I will be your storyteller for this evening. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
No.
When we last left our intrepid professionals, the majority of them had been oh so rudely awoken by an ambush. Several bar guests that had possibly followed them all the way from Machina Keep had ambushed them and taken care of most of the men-at-arms that Lady Girzahog had been keeping with her cadre. As the bar guests were being taken care of by steel and silver and the claws of one very protective and very effective werewolf, Nienna discovered that there was not just the call of curses to the bar guests at play, but there was magic, powerful, dark magic, necromancy, that had been used to summon what could have been a number of other spirits, but the initial spell, before being dissipated by her own working, summoned a very powerful entity known as a penitent that had come seeking the blood of Lady Girzahog for sins that she had committed in the past, grave sins that called for cursed retribution. As the penitent manifested itself, the professionals and what was left of Lady Girzahog's cadre managed to flee the scene in their wagon and carriage, with few horses that they were able to grab following along with them. They managed to make it to Viroleda, but not without some severe injuries on the men-at-arms that had been taken care of, and a number of psychological injuries on everyone, as well as tiredness from being woken up in the middle of the night. The professionals took a moment to collect themselves and discuss what exactly had been happening, what exactly was going on, and how they would deal with it. Fenix had a rather intense conversation with his sister in the hopes of discovering more and getting her to leave this trail of vengeance to him so that she may live to continue their legacy. After a fitful night's sleep for some within the walls of the Viroleda Tavern, they found themselves waking up to Fenix on a rampage, working to fight back the anger of the wolf, and realizing that apparently the Lady Girzahog, after working to head off and begin taking care of her own noble house's business within Viroleda, had left the Witcher Oswald to assist them with whatever it is that they were up to. It is morning. It's been a little bit of time since Fenix's outburst in his room, and repairs have already begun to be made to his wall. You all are, well, you're free to be seated at a table and enjoying some breakfast as you discuss what you are going to do, and discuss the fact that you have a Witcher who has not been part of your group, but has been seemingly lent to you by the Lady Girzahog.
Irileth is adding a little whiskey to his coffee. He looks moody this morning. So she doesn't need you here?
I'm just on loan, and for you guys today, while you guys are in the city. Anything you need, I'll be able to help.
Mm-hmm. I assume you'll tell her what we get up to eventually.
Didn't say I wasn't being paid to not say anything, so depends on the situation at hand. It depends.
Sure. All right. Well, we might need another sword, at least until our other friend comes back.
Fine.
We're after, looks around at the others. I keep calling them demons, but I don't think that's properly correct.
Himes.
May I make a roll on what Oswald would know about Himes?
You absolutely may. That would be a Witcher training roll.
All right. Professional skills. Oh. 24.
All right. You know that Himes are classified kind of fluidly. They have a lot in common with specters, but their strength and the way that they feed makes them more akin to demons, because specters usually come back because they were wronged by someone or they are drawn to some kind of curse. Himes actively seek out and act as predators and parasites to people.
Now, don't know the whole state. Would I have known of like ways to stop Himes and stuff like that?
You know of the two general ways: the Witcher's way, which is to get whoever the Heim is feeding on in one place, try to keep them calm and let the Heim come to them to try to more directly and more violently feed, and then kill the Heim with direct violence, or tricking the Heim to try to latch onto someone else, which is very, very, very hard to do because Heims aren't dumb. They are quite intelligent.
And with me being from Skellig, I would definitely know the story of, not for sure the world state here, would know the story of Geralt's being tricked in that scenario.
And that one took even the Witcher himself not understanding what was going on for the plan.
Exactly. I'm just making sure I have a frame of reference here.
Yeah, exactly. You know of that particular story of the trick actually working, but no other stories of the trick working. It's usually kill it.
Yeah, that's my only basis from what I know.
Exactly.
Tricky. That is. Oof.
There's one other thing that you would notice is that he said Heims, or well, she said Heims, plural. Heims tend to be singular, solitary creatures. If there's multiple, then something's fucky.
Yeah. You are saying Heims, as in plural?
Indeed.
5 that we know of.
What the fuck happened to you guys that you have 5 Heims you're dealing with?
That is exactly what I have been wondering.
Mm.
I suppose they're just particularly hungry for our suffering.
Ugh. Shit.
It would be weird if 5 people who all had dark passengers met up. It would be weirder, right? If 5 people who already knew each other, practically lived together, were all targeted at the same time.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Witcher, but we are past the point of coincidence on that, right?
Little bit on that end. That is correct. This is some fucked up shit I haven't seen especially with all these. I've only heard of one story with times, and that was. Ugh.
Thank you. Irileth takes a long drink.
And how long have you guys been dealing with these times?
Roughly a week.
Early. That's good.
Well, a week since we knew what they were. The palace was kind of getting pissed off before that, right?
Well, okay. A week since most of us were affected, because we watched it happen in real time with a few of us.
Yeah.
Damn. Trying to think here. And so what brings you here exactly?
We're hoping to find the source of it all.
The source.
The what?
You said the source, so you believe the Heim is in the city, or it's the den, or
We believe the key to what is making it all happen is here.
Yeah. So we're gonna find it, and then I don't know, figure out the rest as we go.
do you have any ideas where? I mean, exactly where it could be, or said you're
Not precisely. The person who knows exactly where to look isn't with us at the moment.
Yeah, when she gets back, we'll have a better lead, but I think we can find out about the city.
that is fair and all, but damn, I don't like. You'll have to let me know if. I'm guessing that you'll have to let me know if you guys start seeing things, or I want to be able to help out with this, especially with multiple of these Heims affecting you guys.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the loop.
No, it's over at Irileth.
Irileth, give me an awareness check, please.
Love when the game master asks me to roll that.
Yeah, I don't like that you asked that right after The Witcher says you'll have to let me know if you see anything.
Hey, I'm sure it's nothing.
With
A 19?
With a 19, you are just relaxing back in your seat, and you go to take another drink of your beverage. And in the reflection, you see yourself, but you also see a bald man with very reptilian, slit-looking eyes that seems very familiar to you, wearing yellow robes.
Irileth, snaps away like someone's touched him, puts a hand in his sleeve, and looks behind him, expecting to see a strange figure.
You do not, and no one else witnessed anyone behind you or close to you. You were the only one that seems to have seen that.
Irileth?
Uh-huh. Releases the dagger in his sleeve. Well, fuck.
Are you alright?
I'm just trying to enjoy a cup of coffee with a little whiskey, and I saw a man with slitted eyes and a yellow robe.
It's the Heim thing with your mind of.
I know. But I just told our new friend here that I'd tell him when I saw shit. So, hey man, I saw some shit. Takes another drink.
At least you guys still have your wits about you and aren't being driven to kill yourself yet. But it's still, this is still getting bad. I've seen, or at least I've heard what it can drive people to do.
Indeed. In my opinion, Brynnhilder can't come back soon enough.
With that, we are going to shift our focus away from the tavern for a little while. And we are going to shift to a horse that is moving swiftly down the road. The same road that the professionals had traversed the night before. On it is a very familiar, very strong-looking witcheress. With information in hand, she makes her way into the city with the official sigil of Lady Nienna's house, and is able to make it to the tavern. Brynnhilder, you are able to hop off of Betty, and you can see that there are the other horses of the rest of the crew here. So this is definitely the tavern that they are at. It seems like everyone that you left with, their horses are here, and you do see Render actually seems to have made up a little area for himself in the stable, keeping an eye on the horses. But when he sees you, he quickly bounds up to you and is just playfully hopping up, like to the point where he can put his paws on your chest and try to lick at your face.
Okay, boy. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Down, boy. Down. Okay.
It takes a little bit of doing, but you do manage to get him down and calmed enough to where you can move again.
Do I have my companion with me?
Could you remind me what you mean by companion?
Oh,
your contact?
Yes.
Yes, she made this journey with you, and she just pushes some of the hair out of her face and just sighs. It's going to be good to get to have a proper bath again. I'm sick of having to wash myself off in streams.
I think that we both could do with that. And she's looking down at the various blood stains on her arms and hands, and kind of wipes some of the dirt off of her face, and again just kind of looks down any smudge stains or whatnot, and wipes them off on her pants. I think we could both do with the bath after this. Thank you again for all of your help.
Of course. I was going to do it anyway. It was nice to have some company.
Yes. It's always good to see a friendly face.
Of course. Care to lead the way? I know that one of your friends seem to be a little bit apprehensive about me. So I'll let you do most of the talking to begin with.
Sure. And she'll offer her her dear contact and arm.
Which she will take.
And lead her into the tavern.
All right. You head into the tavern where you can see that the largest table has been taken up by your associates who are all enjoying breakfast. And there seems to be an individual who's with them. You can immediately tell by the twin swords and the white hair that is very akin to your own that this is another Witcher. With the fact that he is wearing such heavy armor, you'd have to guess bear school, given that their training focuses on mobility while wearing heavier protection.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone can see that Brynnhilder has walked into the tavern with Tasha, the crimson-haired sorceress that assisted you with finding and getting to the Elven Temple where you took your last great battle.
Speak of the devil.
And she shall appear with backup.
Yeah.
I cast Fenix a little smile. Backup.
Brynnhilder, welcome back.
Turn to left.
Siegryn is gonna pop right out of her seat, and she's gonna go running fast enough to Brynnhilder to practically leg sweep her just by tackling into her leg.
Yep, she's going to immediately slide her arm away from Tasha to capture the small. That's right. I told you I'd be back.
And thus the uppies have actually begun.
Yes.
Yes, but you didn't say when, and frankly, I am offended. But it's good to have you back.
It is good to be back. And she's going to look at the Witcher.
Brynnhilder, I believe you know our new companion.
I'm sorry, you don't look familiar.
This is Oswald. Oswald Brynnhilder.
Irileth gives Nienna a confused look. They know each other?
I look.
Nienna gives Irileth this look like, really? You haven't picked up on it yet?
Siegryn Grass. Oh my word, are they roommates?
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I mean, technically, kind of. But yeah, the Witchers are looking at one another and hearing the names that they haven't likely heard in maybe a century, and haven't even really thought about possibly for decades.
Brynnhilder looks at Oswald unblinking. For like a solid 10 to 15 seconds.
Just as much confusion and processing as well.
Oswald.
Bryn.
And she stoically takes a couple of steps towards him. Not breaking that eye contact the entire time. And there's a very neutral expression on her face. Until they get probably within touching distance of each other. It's been quite some time.
It has. Grown up quite a bit, it seems. Became a Witcher nonetheless.
Yes. It's good to see you, brother.
It is good to see you, Bryn.
And she'll pull him in for a hug.
Back.
What are you doing here?
I was with on my current job here with a noble I'm working with, and she has lent me to apparently your group, it seems. And I was just coming to this. It's just by chance that I was here. That's all.
She'll pull away from him. You are all in good hands. Or were in good hands. Oswald is my biological brother.
Huh.
Yes, I picked up on that when he gave us his name.
Well, shit. Welcome to the fucking family, man.
Also chuckles a bit, and so
Tasha, darling, you look like you spent the last 3 days rolling around in mud. Would you like a bath?
That's because it's exactly what he did. She kind of like starts a bit after she was like taking a seat to just watch all this happen, just like amused. And she says, I actually would love a bath. It's been so long since I've gone into field work that I forgot how much I despised it.
It
I'll
wasn't
have one.
that bad.
I'll have one drawn for you. You can use my...
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna go find the tavern keeper and have them start a hot bath.
It will be done. Fenix, you notice that Tasha has been giving you a few sideways glances and small, actually kind smiles, not as playful as they were the first time they met you.
Yeah. He got a lot to think about right now. He'll return the smile, and stand up. I have to go repair the wall in my room because I'm pretty sure I thoroughly fucked it up and he's not going to be able to get to it anytime soon. Or that bath.
It's already started.
He's doing a terrible job. Tasha, would you mind helping me?
Of course. That might as well while I'm waiting for the bath to be drawn.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Right up here, my lady.
Why, thank you. And she gives a very, like, extra formal curtsy to Fenix before following along.
Irileth throws a low-key thumbs up to Fenix.
That will never be returned. No, I don't.
Wow. So, Brynnhilder,
Yes.
I assume you went off to find out a bunch of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another sorceress is great, but I hope it worked.
I did find what might be the cause of our encounter the other day.
Which one?
Yes. Let me ask you, are you aware of the other worlds?
Yes, dear, I am.
I think I went dancing there one time.
Nienna just sort of pats Irileth on the shoulder. She's got this look on his face, on her face, like it's a good thing he's pretty.
Exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I know that's not what you're talking about. Go on. Don't keep us in suspense.
Okay.
And for Christ's sake, sit down and eat.
She'll sit. She's gonna remove the glove that hides her good hand. And she'll do a quick order of like a meal and the strongest whiskey that they have, I guess, or the strongest drink that they've got, because it doesn't do jack diddly shit for her.
Correct.
So there were a couple of places of power around where we were. And the reasons that the monsters were acting so weird is because in close proximity, there are doors to the other worlds that are shaking. And Tasha and I believe that the doors to the other worlds are trying to break open.
That makes sense. We know that there's a conjunction supposedly close.
Meaning that monsters have the opportunity to go home. And so some of the monsters that are a bit more sentient are trying to cause as much havoc as they possibly can before the doors open. The problem with the doors opening is, yes, while they get to go home, other things can make their way to here. Monsters that we know nothing about.
Oh, shit.
So. And the doors are shaking hard. So
Sounds relatively unfortunate.
Yeah, the big one, the with the skull face and the plant body.
Ashen.
Is it still out there?
Yes, he was relatively friendly towards me.
I was gonna say, you made him out like some kind of forest protector. Can't imagine a bunch of stuff we've never heard of before wandering out into the forest would be a protector's ideal situation.
But that door isn't the only door that exists. There are others and other places of power. He is one Leshen.
Right, I'm catching up here. I don't know if monsters are reasonable or not.
I don't understand why he was friendly towards you, but ripped apart an entire caravan of people on the road.
Maybe they flipped him off. What? Some people are dicks.
That gives Brynnhilder actual pause, gives her that look of really, and that look just kind of focuses dead center on Irileth.
Some people should be killed. Okay? We don't know the moral character of those people. Maybe they attacked the Leshen first. Maybe they were, I don't know, beating up a bunch of elves. Or
One of them
animals.
was an elf, love.
I really try to contribute here. I also make a lot of jokes, so forget it.
He didn't sleep well. Nienna is going to explain as she rubs a hand up and down Irileth's back.
He elbow on table, chin in palm, covering one eye. Yeah. Oh, Oswald on the list of weird shit. Nightmares.
Well, Heim.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of figured with how Heims don't normally work.
Mm-hmm.
Voices in heads, nightmares.
To add to it, we have definitely confirmed that there is a sorcerer adding to our problems.
Is that so?
Indeed. Well,
Sense.
some of the most powerful dark magics I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Sen-
Maybe was.
Out of curiosity, regarding these doors that you mentioned, if they're trying to rattle open as the conjunction draws closer, then how does one help keep them shut?
Right question.
That is a good question. Would that be something that I know? Old storyteller.
Given the fact that you're from the Griffin school, the more magically inclined Witcher school,
Yes.
especially one that actually had a whole lot of texts that were considered even wanted by other sorcerers to the point that they destroyed the school out of jealousy,
Mhm.
I would ask that you give me a Witcher training roll, and Nienna, if you want to also join in on this, you could give me a magical training roll. I would say that Oswald can also do this, though he will be at a -3, given the fact that his school focused more on martial combat as opposed to magic.
We might have had one or two books on this sort of thing, but nothing.
It was mostly just how to kill the monster real good with a big sword.
So -2? Is that correct?
18.
Yes.
All right.
Is there anything Irileth could roll to know about any of this? I put points in some stuff.
I would think
And
maybe monster lore could give you a little bit about how monsters came to be in this world in general.
Sweet, I have a point in that. Just the one.
24.
18.
All right. 18 from Nienna, 24 from Brynnhilder,
22.
22 from Oswald, and a 13 from Irileth.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Starting off with Irileth, you know that the stories of how the monsters and even elves and the other creatures like the werebubs and the Jan came to be in your world. Into this world, onto the continent. The conjunction of the spheres happened and basically rent reality asunder for a period of time. Monsters poured into this world, and magic itself also poured in. There were hints and stories of magic before, but magic became very prevalently real and visible whenever the conjunction of the spheres happened. There isn't a whole lot said about what caused the conjunction of the spheres, but given that it is a lot to do with the opening of doorways to other worlds, it's very likely that it has something to do or is connected to the Elder Blood.
Gotcha.
Given that one of the most noted practitioners of it, at least according to the tales of Sir Dandelion, is known as the Lady of Space and Time and is able to actually go to other worlds herself.
Cool. Also, Irileth believes that elves are native.
Noted. Then we will go on to Nienna. Your magical training came a lot with taking in that information about the origins of magic, the origins of other races, the origins of monsters as a whole. There were a few ancient texts that Isilgir was able to show you that showed a connection between monsters' existence and the existence of magic, thanks to the conjunction of the spheres basically almost acting like a pressure release. The worlds that they opened up to just let the excess power and beings come into this world before getting shut again. It does have some to do with the Elder Blood, given, again, the stories about the Lady of Space and Time, and the way that the power of the Elder Blood is able to work almost as minor, controlled, localized conjunction of the spheres whenever it is called upon.
Okay.
Our Witchers get much the same sort of thing. And they, with Brynnhilder's knowledge, if you had to guess, it would take power, great magical power, a lot of magical individuals at one point, as well as possibly a utilizer of the Elder Blood themselves, or the sacrifice of someone who is a carrier, one of the male holders of the Elder Blood, to be able to keep either the conjunction of the spheres from just destroying everything, or even to keep a second conjunction from happening again. To keep the doors shut would take a lot of magical power and the assistance or death of a carrier of the Elder Blood. At least according to your own theories, that nothing can be set in stone because it's never been done before.
So, more monsters. Talking about like a monster invasion, basically.
So
Right? Okay. Well, if we're the first ones to hear about it, then
We're not.
you... what? Elaborate, please.
We knew a conjunction of the spheres was coming over a year ago. That's why Isilgir was doing what he was doing, remember?
Okay, good.
And he likely knew long before then.
Well, that doesn't... I mean... Okay, sure. Why cut off contact with Nilfgaard? They've got the largest standing army. If we're dealing with an invasion, we need the largest standing army. We should...
Because sages are some of the most powerful magic users in the world.
So he's working his own angle and neglecting the mundane. Sounds about right. I think a mundane solution is a good idea. Thoughts?
I think a mundane solution is something we don't have a choice in.
All right.
But I think a magical solution might be able to head it all off at the pass, but even that's not guaranteed. And she'll look over at Brynnhilder. There are likely costs that we're not going to be able to calculate.
Okay.
Trying to stop it.
Right. And it takes a lot of magic to be able to stop it.
And very specific magic at that.
So, how long would it be?
Impossible to say.
Okay.
These doors are chaos. It could rip open within minutes or within years.
Wait. Do you mean it could start in minutes or years, or it could last minutes and years once it started?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck. Okay.
I think
leans back.
It's most likely that it'll be a while before it starts, but not. I can't guarantee it. I can only go based on prophecies.
Okay. Okay. Jokes aside, I'm out of my depth. I'll tell you how I would handle this, and you can make fun of me once I'm done. We reach out to the Imperial Court. We get on the same page. We request probably 2 battalions of Nilfgaardian soldiers. We get Fenix, every apprentice who can swing a hammer, arm them with silver. We find these gates, build war camps. If possible, we either wait for them to open if we figured out the time is good, or we open them ourselves. Because it's like a pressure thing, right? Because if we open them and then we kill everything that comes out and then they close, they won't open again right away.
No, that's not.
Okay, well.
The pressure isn't from things trying to push their way in, dear. It's from, think of it like the walls of a building becoming, having extra pressure put on them by the roof. It's going to change how the frame a door sits in holds itself. Which could force the door open, or it could lock it into place almost.
You have to think as well, there's not just the areas that Nilfgaard has. You also have to think about the other areas that would be affected. Skellig, any of the other areas could be just as affected by this.
And there's...
Well, I'm sure someone will be on top of that.
Trying to stop the doors from opening is only one part of it. The conjunction isn't something we can stop.
Right.
That's just something you survive. Or don't.
Yeah. In answer to your question, Oswald, yeah. I think Skellig can handle themselves, and the North can fuck off. So... this would be our solution.
I can send a message to the Emperor, but I don't know that there's a lot that he can do. Aside
At the
from
very
these
least, he could give us...
patrols.
Well, he could send soldiers, or he could grant us levies to hire our own soldiers. We've got town guard, city guard, palace guard. We don't have an army. If we want to do this right, we'd need an army. And we need to build it fast.
I think before we do anything, we have to deal with our own particular problems. We're in no position to lead any sort of defense right now.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that. So that's my solution. Finishes his drink. What's the other option?
Before we continue, Solomon,
Yes.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Given all of this being revealed and everything else that's gone on since season 1, can I make some sort of a check to see if Nienna can figure out how the fuck the vampires even knew that I had elder blood?
Yeah, I would say possibly deduction or magical training roll. I'll give you
Oh, please,
differentiation.
magical training.
Yeah.
I don't have points to put into deduction because magic is expensive. 22.
Well, given the fact that the elder blood is actually blood, it's a bloodline, it's very likely that they could almost smell it. But as for why they knew you would be there, they don't have noses that are that good.
So somebody tipped them off.
It's very likely that someone tipped them off.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep that to myself.
Hey, Siegryn. Siegryn, I would like you to please roll me awareness, if you would.
Oh boy.
Actually,
I
I
can
can go ahead and roll me awareness, except for Fenix.
Oh, everybody?
Everybody.
Huh.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna-
god.
Well, I'm just not going to roll. I'm not re-rolling with everybody else getting 10s.
The boys are paying attention. Coffee works,
Oh,
y'all.
Jesus Christ. 3
Everybody's
10s
paying
in a
attention.
row? What is happening?
Everyone else decided to just go ahead and strip.
Show up the fucking mage. I see how it is.
Everyone decided to strip sentience from the universe, and the mage just like coffee.
The mage has other things on her mind, all right?
Yeah.
Irileth and the 2 witchers looking up into the sky, being like, "Yeah, why do they have dice in their hands? Didn't this building have a roof a minute ago?"
Oh god, they're picking me up and moving.
Oh, that one's wearing a bathrobe backwards.
All right, focus, people. Jesus.
Moving on. You all are just thinking about this and taking in the weight of what you've really put together and what you've been thinking about. And then you hear banging, and you realize that Fenix and Tasha have been gone for a little bit longer than expected. And it's the sound of very loud thumping is coming from Phoenix's room again. But it's not as violent, it's more rhythmic.
Siegryn takes a long sip from her cup.
Yeah, Siegryn, if you get up right now, I'll kick your ass.
Oh, now why would you say
Now,
something
I
so
think this is the
controversial yet so brave?
I think this is the perfect time for her to get up and go upstairs because she does it to us every time we have a moment to know. It's someone else's turn.
It's, I mean,
It was the 5 times, really. I
Literally
don't
every
think it's that
time we've
much.
ever been on the road. Literally every time.
If the palace didn't have guards,
The voices from above
Well,
says, "Fucking do it, you coward."
Well, I suppose if I have to, but only because you all said I had to. She sips innocently as she gets up. Yeah, sure, okay, and she'll scuttle off.
Oh my god.
Already.
Nienna.
Is this normal with your group?
Yes, all
Yeah,
the time.
very.
Literally
The
every
first time,
single day.
yeah, Nienna and I were just getting close. Fenix sent me out to find flowers with bad directions. I was gone for 20 minutes. He has this coming a long way off.
Fine.
Brynnhilder's not even hiding the little smirk.
Oh yeah, Nienna, that's where I was for 20 minutes.
I see.
It
Yeah.
was really funny.
It was kind of funny.
It was really, really funny.
I'll take your word on it.
Already. Siegryn,
Yes.
as you get closer to the room, the sounds are louder. And you notice that there is a patchwork done on the wall, but you also notice that it seems that there's almost been like reinforcement made to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But the wall is still shaking a little bit.
Is there like silt falling from the ceiling?
A little bit.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So what are the sounds of distress coming from the room, glorious GM?
About what you'd expect.
Right. I just gotta get to my professional mood. She'll crack her knuckles, kind of give her neck a little twist. She'll stretch her body. And then she'll lift a knuckle and just go, "Hey, you two, time to stop fucking. Time to come out and eat with the others." And then she's gonna fucking bolt for it. She's gonna scuttle off with her little piece, just cackling down the stairs.
Just checking. Do you actually knock on the door at all, or do you just shout that?
Oh,
Very much both.
The door swings open before you knock.
Oh, fuck.
You see Fenix standing there in his craftsman gear. He has a hammer and chisel in one hand, and you swing the door open, and you see the bed that he did have looks like something out of a fucking, like, lord's house. It looks refined as expert craftsmanship. You see he has sweat on his brow, and he's wiping it. What?
Oh, hello, Fenix. Hello.
Yeah, have you seen the owner? He was supposed to get a bath going.
You
No idea.
Siegryn, you're able to like look in and you see the very nicely made bed, and you notice that Tasha's just sitting on the end of it, looking prim and proper, just waggling her fingers at you.
The bath is also being drawn in Nienna's room, not yours. So
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that we still have present company downstairs if you want to join us, you know.
Of course, yeah, we'll get right down. We're already done.
Well, all right, just wanted to give you a little heads up. I'll see you around, Fenix. And she kind of finger guns her as she's like slowly, cautiously backstepping.
Hey, Siegryn.
By the way, go ahead, Jam.
Grizz, you go ahead first.
By the way, you can tell the chuckle fucks downstairs that even if I don't have the wolf ears, I hear really fucking good. It'll shut the door.
Also, Siegryn, I need you to roll me a resist magic, please.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Resist magic. That's definitely one of my high stats.
As the
Siegryn
door
about to
closes-
learn why she's lucky that Nienna is so nice and doesn't use magic against her when she pisses her off.
As Siegryn is working to just back away as the door is closing, you see the little wave of fingers suddenly twist in Tasha's hand. And Siegryn, you were just figure cutting, just walking away, and suddenly you realize that you're falling. And everyone sees Siegryn just fall from above them and just slam fairly hard into the table in front of you all.
Siggy! Wham! Right into the table.
Exactly.
Just cups, plates, glasses, and mugs just all over the place. She is like Family Guy posed against the wooden table. I think
you dropped something.
I think I might have misplaced a feet or two. Ooh. Ooh, I think that threw my back out of sorts. Oh.
Nienna just sips at her tea.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure this happens to everyone. Oh. Ooh. She is going to slowly, tenderly slip back into her spot and just, play it off as, yeah, she's fine. Totally.
Give me a deceit roll, please.
Oh, God. Deceit. Which one is that under?
It should be under your charisma.
Yep, under.
Or empathy, sorry. It's right.
Empathy.
It's actually
Okay.
one under charisma.
I keep forgetting that empathy is a thing. There we go. Oh, boy.
So do the
That's what
witches.
Irileth said.
Okay, everyone is just able to look at Siegryn and can just feel the coming off of them.
Feel the
The
what
what?
coming off of
The what?
It's just the feeling of wanting to say just the sheer soreness and pain and misery.
Nienna's gonna prop her elbow on the table and her chin in her palm and give Siegryn a kind of casual, lighthearted look. What's wrong, dear? Learning that you shouldn't tease sorcerers.
But no, I'm perfectly fine. I don't even know why you would ask that question.
So you didn't learn that you shouldn't use sorcerers?
She is slightly turned away from the both of them now as she is sipping at her now slightly less full mug. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I was merely sent to do a task, and I have thusly done it.
As evidenced by the bruise growing along your whole body.
Well,
No.
the task was completed, so when you think of an appropriate reward, we should make sure that good Siegryn here gets it.
No, I think Siegryn got her reward.
Honestly, Fenix brought up a really good point. Where is that tavern owner? I could really do with a bath too right about now.
I've been watching the serving staff making their way up and down the stairs for the past 10 minutes. My assumption is that they are drawing the bath in the room that I told them to.
Brynnhilder, what are the odds your friends would rather watch Fenix work than take the aforementioned bath?
Knowing Tasha?
Yeah.
50-50.
More like 75-25. She works with her hands quite a bit.
Well, she must be quite lonely lately.
Her and I spent a lot of time together these last couple of days.
Oh.
Not like that.
Nienna, does everybody here suck but us?
Nienna doesn't say anything. She just sips her tea.
God. Oh, right. The reason we're here. Brynnhilder, do you know where we're supposed to go here in town?
She's gonna look at Oswald and let out a very deep sigh. We gotta go home.
Oh,
Yeah. The root is in our family basement.
you're the one the Heim came after first?
Yes.
Oswald, with the awareness that you made before, I will say that you also do notice with the light coming from the windows, the shadows of everyone. Everyone at this table, aside from yourself, does have the telltale shadow of the Heim, but Brynnhilder's is noticeably a little bit larger.
Yep.
Yeah, Phoenix would start coming down the stairs, and you'd probably see his too as he starts to sit down at the table.
Bryn, I know how Heims work. They feed off the guilt. What happened?
I don't want to talk about it right here.
Yeah, maybe later with more, I don't know, drinks and privacy. Looking at, yeah.
And her neutral expression kind of drops a little bit lower. I'm gonna go feed the horses. She'll remove herself from the tavern.
All right. You are able to head to the stable to feed the horses as you see fit.
I would like to follow her, if that's okay.
All right. Brynnhilder, you do notice that Nienna has come out to join you in the stables.
While Brynnhilder is getting the feed for the horses, I think Nienna will make her way over and she'll take a moment with her own horse, kind of murmuring to it in the Elvish dialect of Elder Speech, and then we'll move over to Bryn's horse and reach up and stroke her forelock. Are you all right?
Do you want the honest answer or the short one?
If I wanted the short answer, Brynnhilder, I wouldn't ask. I can pretty much fill in that blank for myself.
Did I ever tell you about how I became a witcher?
No. And given that it is usually a sore subject, I made it a point not to ask. But I am happy to listen if you want to tell me your story.
As she takes a minute to kind of like open up the bag of feed, and she's just focusing back and forth between Nienna and the horses, as she speaks. When I was a little girl, Oswald, myself, and our two younger siblings lived with my mother and my father in this town. Oswald and I were as thick as thieves. I followed him around like I was a puppy. I was learning how to play the lute. And I told him that I wanted nothing more to perform music when I was growing up. And he was gonna travel around with me, and we were going to be the brother-sister duo. And then witchers came. And they took my brother. And I got sad. I was a little girl. And I ran off to try to find him. And it took months. And I got lost. And I got hurt. And then I found the Griffin School. Obviously, it was the wrong school. They told me that I wouldn't be able to take the tests because I was a girl. And that girls who do the trials and take the mutagens die. But I was a stubborn 6-year-old girl. And because they told me that I couldn't, I said, I bet I can. Training was brutal. But the mutagens took me perfectly. I ended up being the top in my class, and you get so enveloped with being told that you're going to fight monsters and that the people around you are going to hate you. And that you have gifts that stop you from doing some things but allow you to do others. And somewhere along the line, I forgot why I did what I did. I hadn't seen my parents in years. My family lineage might still be here somewhere. But I didn't even say goodbye to my parents. I left my mom and my pa. because they knew where he was, or at least had an inkling. But they lost 2 of their kids in the matter of hours of each other. So. She puts the bag down.
I'm sorry. It's a difficult way to start your life.
I don't know if I have family here. I have Oswald. But what do Oswald and I have in common now? Other than the fact that we're both witchers, and not even of the same school. I let everybody that I care about in my life go. And I gotta live with that regret. On top of that, the only man who was like a father to me in my later years is dead because of me. So, in the grand scheme of things, I kind of deserve what came to me.
No, you don't. You were a 6-year-old girl. You didn't ask for any of it. You did something rash, as 6-year-olds are wont to do. And by some sizable miracle, you managed to survive what should have been impossible. A highly educated woman, Brynnhilder. I don't think I've ever heard of another witcheress other than you. Not really.
I should be dead. I shouldn't have stuck.
Yes, and for all intents and purposes, I shouldn't exist. Elder Blood's not supposed to be found in. And she'll kind of gesture at her ears. My kind. It's only supposed to exist in human minds. And yet here we both are, anomalies.
We are walking contradictions to the norm.
Indeed.
Must make us both pretty special in our own ways, then.
May I give you a small amount of unsolicited advice?
I'll allow it.
Take advantage of the time that you have with your brother. You may not have seen him in a long time, and he's certainly not the boy you knew. But you're being given something rare and precious, and that's a second chance and more time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my mother in nearly 100 years. Not since I left home, and I don't know that I ever will. I don't even know that if I have siblings. I know I didn't when Isilgeir took me away to train me. And I know that had she had her way, I likely wouldn't have survived the war.
I'm glad that you did.
So am I.
I know that I've been a little bit more distant recently. And,
Well, I think it quite reasonable, considering.
I'm sorry about everything that happened. With your mentor.
Yes, so am I. But he's alive. And at this point, that's the best I can hope for. I was genuinely afraid we were going to have to kill one of the greatest minds of our time. Everything that he did, and all of the terrible things that came from his choices. She kind of shakes her head. This world would be very different without him in it. And I don't know that it would be for the better.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of necessary evil. It's not all evil. He cared about you. As do all of us.
She kind of gives a little smile. Draws a deep breath and then looks up at Betty. I'm glad she likes you.
Yeah.
You know, another noble gifted her to me because they couldn't do anything with her in their stables, and elves have a way with animals. Even aggressive ones don't seem to mind us. But I had no idea what to do with her once I had her, except to make her comfortable, so I'm glad that she's found someone who she seems to find herself in sync with.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Fast as hell. Smart, too smart for me, too. Managed to sneak into my pocket while I wasn't looking and steal a sugar cube. How she ever managed to do that, don't ask. Are you okay?
Ask me when this is over.
I'll ask you when this is over. But the me right now is worried.
I don't have an answer for you at the moment. I can't say yes or no. The last few days have just been holding on.
Yeah. I get that.
The breakfast has largely been cleared up. Those who wanted to have baths drawn are able to enjoy them, including Siegryn, who needs one to soak her totally not sore muscles.
Yeah.
And you all are getting ready to head out for the day to check out the location of of what could be the root of these problems that have cropped up. Does anyone have anything they wish to say to one another, or any conversations they might wish to have to one another?
I definitely think Irileth is up in their room, retrieving knives and packing and... Well, no, he'd probably be standing outside the door because there's a naked sorceress in there taking a bath. So...
Fair.
Waiting for Nienna.
I mean, eventually Nienna would come back in. I would hope that Tasha is done with her bath by the time that happens, though.
Yeah, by the time the breakfast was cleared up, she was finishing up and getting ready to, and just clearing out.
Cool. Then he is waiting for her inside.
Cool.
Hey.
Hello.
Sorry, I already told you I had another nightmare. Pulls a knife out from under the bed, sticks it in a bag.
I know. I always know when you have nightmares.
Yeah? Did you read my mind a little? He smiles.
No. I could see it in the way your jaw sets when you sleep. Do you remember the girl who got murdered back when we started the whole thing with the whole thing? Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Her name was Mira. You know, you make friends with some of your coworkers, and some of them are still coworkers, and she was a nice person, but more of a coworker. And yet, Daheim reminded me that I failed her. I feel like shit. And her kid was there, Jack, just wailing on me.
It's not real, love. It's the Daheim preying on the things that bother you the most.
Right, but I don't...
Please don't stand there and try and tell me that you don't. You aren't impacted by what happened. And that you don't feel strongly about it. Your entire life revolves around protecting people now, rather than killing them. Of course it bothers you that you failed someone. On some subconscious level, it likely inspires a niggling of doubt as to your abilities. But
See, and he takes a couple steps, like, around the bed, pulling another knife out from behind a chair. See, that's the problem. Doubt makes me worse at this. If somebody pulls a knife while we're walking through town, I can't doubt. I can't second guess. And yeah, I am. You know, maybe a bouncer is a protector thing. I'm definitely a protector now, and I don't like it a lot. I mean, I do it, and I'm good at it, because I can think of all the ways that I would come at us, but it's stressful.
yes,
And now we're dealing with these things, and I don't know how much of it is the monster and how much of it is me. Yeah.
come here.
Goes over, sits down on the bed with her.
She's gonna take his hand and lace her fingers with his.
Yeah.
Doubt is normal for most people, believe it or not. I have doubts all the time. Every day. About everything that I do. I was born to aristocracy, but I never had any intention of ever being nobility once I left Old Lathana. Once I left behind my title and my family name and simply became an apprentice. I never thought I'd be back in this position, and yet here I am. And I doubt and second guess myself all the time. What I don't doubt, however, is that you are exceptionally skilled at what you do. And I feel confident and safe putting my life and the lives of those other people that I care about in your hands.
Thank you. Thanks. I mean, you maybe shouldn't a little bit, just because if we hadn't met Lady Girsahog and had her soldiers, one of us would have been eaten by those Bargists.
We don't know that.
Okay, one of us probably would have been eaten by those Bargists, but...
Possibly. We're both very good at what we do, Irileth.
Yeah. I guess we all are.
We are.
Fucking crack team of idiots.
Relax your shoulders, love. Trust your instincts.
Yeah.
They'll get you farther right now than your mind will, given what the harm is doing to you.
Yeah. My instincts can't decide if I should run away or just like fight everything. So I'll trust them to a point.
Trust them in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you've got another 10 knives hidden around this room, so I'm going to give you time to go and get them.
I do, but the other thing. Maybe we should talk about it later.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah. You're not doing it. You're not going to do anything crazy, right? We're just going to kill these monsters and then figure the next thing out.
There's very little for me to do at this stage anyway.
All right.
Except to learn my expertise when and where I can, but anything big and dramatic would require a fair bit more sorcerers than just me and Tasha. Pull off.
Okay. When we face the Heims, are you going to use that bracelet? It was staining your skin last night, so I figured out what it was.
She kind of looks down at the bracelet around her arm. You're not mad.
You went out and found a way to sleep through the night, potentially have your mind taken, and not blow us all up. Why would I be mad?
Because you're very protective, and sometimes I get worried that you are more concerned with protecting me than everyone else.
I can neither confirm nor deny. However, correct me if I'm wrong, sorcerer, sorceress who uses all of their power dies, right?
Frequently.
Possible to just blow yourself up?
Yes.
And that would stop you from doing that?
Yes.
Well, then it seems like you're protecting yourself.
I did it to protect the rest of you. Because if I'm not in control of my faculties and I manage to let chaos take over, I won't just kill myself, I'll kill all of you too. There's a chance I'd actually survive. And I can't.
Gives her a kiss on the forehead. Exactly. So it's a good idea?
I think so.
There you go. All right.
She's gonna stand up and head for the door. We will talk more about the thing.
Yeah. But business comes first. Straps on his sword.
You know that you're not allowed to do anything stupid, right?
The distinction between stupid and brave is extremely fine.
Don't go making any unnecessary sacrifices.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
I know you a year ago wouldn't, but you now might, and I'm not ready to face this world without you in it.
Gives her a hug. Yeah. Same.
Knives, go.
It's only like 5 or 6, and the door closes.
All right. Are there any other conversations that would like to take place at the current time?
I have one more conversation, but it's not with anyone here.
Oh.
And I think while everybody is getting ready to face the day might be the best time, or the only time that Nienna is likely to find a moment alone to deal with it.
All right.
So she's gonna go downstairs and she's going to pay for like the use of a room just for herself for like an hour. And then lock herself in said room. And she's gonna make herself comfortable, kind of meditate for a moment, and then pull out a lock of hair.
His hair?
His hair.
All right.
Ooh.
Go ahead and give me a spellcasting roll or a ritual roll.
Which one? Spellcasting or rituals?
Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make it rituals.
Okay.
A little more stable, a little less on the fly.
22.
That will do it. The hair burns and you focus, and you are adrift in a place between for a while before you fade into that same study that you're used to. The study itself is much more cluttered, much less opulent, and a lot more stuffed with scrolls and papers and tomes. There are empty wine bottles that you can see. And aside from you, also looking into the fire, is a very disheveled husk of Isilgir. He looks like he hasn't slept in a long while and just looks almost haunted. But when he catches your eye and you look into his and immediately see sorrow, he still tries to put on a smile. Nienna.
Isilgir.
I was not expecting this. I would have tried to clean.
I'm less concerned with with your surrounds as I am with you. You haven't been sleeping.
Occasionally. Not long, but I do get some sleep.
Have you been having nightmares?
Yes. And he looks at you and his brows furrow. Though not like yours. Oh, Nienna.
Don't worry about me. We're dealing with it.
All right.
Doblathona has cut itself off from the Empire.
Yes.
Or the sages have, at least.
At this point, it's almost one and the same.
Does that have something to do with the fact that the doorways between worlds have been unstable?
Everything to do with it.
And do you think that the best idea is for you all to withdraw?
It's best that we focus. We don't have time for petty human politics. We need to find a way to stabilize these doorways. We've been working to create wards that have helped a modicum, but nothing permanent yet.
Based on the state of this room, I'm going to assume you've had much the same thought that I've had.
And what is that, Nienna?
That it's going to take a lot more than wards and stabilizing magics to fix it.
It'll take blood.
Yes.
Blood that is willed or blood that is spilled.
Yes. I need to ask you a question, and I need you to understand that it is not an accusation, but a hope that you have an answer for me. Or an idea.
You know I will always answer what I can, Nienna.
Someone has been watching me close enough to know where I'm going and when, and was able to tip off some bloodthirsty monsters as to where I would be. So that they could be there first. You wouldn't happen to have any idea who would be behind that, would you?
It is not one of the sages. That much I can tell you.
I would not assume as much. Sages are more invested in protecting the Elder Blood than anyone else. I suspect if most of them had their way, I wouldn't be in Nilfgaard. I'd be in Doblathona, locked up in the thickest walls they could manage.
Correct. And you see that he shudders and winces for a moment. I think I might know or have an idea. One who has decided not to come home.
Give me a name.
And he gets up and moves to a large, rather battered tome but the paper inside looks more new. It looks more like it's one that he has been writing in as opposed to one that was printed. And he opens it up and just begins scanning. I believe it is the sorceress who would like to play at being a, well, criminal, noble, almost the same thing in Nilfgaard. Her name is Teresia of Miravel. She has always been an ambitious one.
Red hair.
Vibrantly so. Even more so than your own. More akin to flame.
I see.
Interestingly enough, given that from what I remember, her magic tends to take the form of water. And she just closes the book again.
Well, if she's who I saw the other night, her magic doesn't even take that form anymore. She's more interested in necromancy these days.
Working the dead. The darker arts of magic have been frowned upon for centuries now. Why would she turn to such things? She was ambitious. She wasn't stupid.
Finishing something she failed to finish many years ago, I assume.
I see.
She summoned a penitent.
That
Wove a spell to draw in an entire large pack of bar guests. All in the same space.
the magic she is weaving, it's not impossible for us. But even with the skill she has, I don't know. This doesn't sound like she should even be capable of this. She was powerful, but this? And he just stops for a moment and he goes even paler. And he moves to another book and pulls it down. And this is a old book that actually has several locks on it that he just runs a finger down and they all begin to unlock in time.
With this spell, am I able to get up and cross the room?
Yes.
I am moving
You're
over
basically contained to the study.
Okay. I'm going to get up and look over his shoulder at the book.
It is written entirely in Elder speech in the Elven dialect, but using older phonetics for it. Like written older, almost akin the difference between listening to old English and more modern English.
Okay.
And you see a term that you know fairly well as a very big dark term, Goetia. Trafficking with demons. I think that necromancy might be the least of the darkest arts she's begun dabbling in.
I see. I need you to speak with your fellows. You know what we're dealing with. You've seen my shadow.
Yes, I
am one of 5.
Times are solitary creatures. Demons. Most demons are solitary.
And yet, our Vatgun had one, and then we watched in real time as it spread to the rest of us.
Do you think it's just one feeding off of all of you, or
No, I think they're separate because we're all having our own individual dreams. If it's one feeding off of all of us, I would be impressed because it's managed to do it even when we're distanced from each other.
I see. So the monsters have been acting strangely within Nilfgaard as well.
Yes, Leshen tracked and ripped apart the members of a caravan on a road that cut through its forest. I saw the remains. It was brutal in ways I wouldn't even anticipate from a Leshen, even an Eldoan.
The shaking, the rattling at the doors. It's driving so many monsters mad almost. Sentient ones are turning even more vindictive and cruel. Non-sentient are being almost herded.
Yes. She'll kind of touch her necklace for a moment. I am concerned, even with all of my skill, that my focus is not strong enough. Normally, I would take the time to try and create one that is more powerful, but I don't have time. If you could talk with your fellows, see if there's a staff, something stronger than this, and she'll kind of tap the pendant around her throat. That someone would be willing to loan. I would appreciate it. I can weave the portal to come and get it myself.
I will do what I can, but I don't know if I can truly promise much.
I understand.
Ever since what we had to deal with finished, I've been marked. And he just smiles to you, and you can see a bit of hair that he had been like almost constantly pushing over his face. He pulls it aside, and you can see deep marks on his skin, like scarring that was burned into him, almost branded.
Do I know what the brand means?
From everything that you have studied, it is the mark of Gontero Dim. It is his mark that is usually used to keep someone in line, but it's also used to mark failure.
Nienna's eyes go wide because that was like there were rules when Siegryn and I defeated Gaunter. And one of them was that he had to leave Isilgir alone. When did this happen?
The moment that our business was concluded, the moment you left, I was left alone, and with this forming across a little gift goodbye.
Isilgir. Oh.
He has not returned, but he has made sure that everyone knows that I did business.
And the others have ostracized you for it.
Those in the know and the sages are, well, sages.
Nienna's jaw kind of locks for a moment, and she looks genuinely furious. Regardless of what this might mean and how people might react to it, you need to remember who and what you are. You are Isilgir, the most powerful sage the world has. One of the foremost authorities on the Elder Blood. And you are the teacher of the current bearer of the Elder Blood, and I am asking you to deliver my message to the other sages. Remind them who and what I am. Tell them I need help.
I will do everything that I can, Nienna.
I have to go, or they're going to notice that I'm missing.
Of course. Just do get some rest when you can. It's harder not being forced to do things and living with the echoes of what you've done.
I know. Sleep, eat, and for heaven's sake, bathe. Remind yourself who you are. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You did what you thought you had to do. And if no one else in the world sees it, I recognize the sacrifice that you made.
He just smiles softly to you, but stays quiet as the time on the ritual comes to an end and you fade out of the study and back into that room.
Nienna just sort of lets out a little half sob and presses her hand to her lips and takes a few minutes to get herself ready so that other people can have scenes.
Perfection. Brynnhilder.
Yes.
You are out in the stables getting ready. You don't travel super heavily. Usually you travel quite light. Still, that's left over from when you walked the path.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that Oswald does much the same. So you two are some of the first out in the stables ready to head out.
Brother?
Bryn,
It's good to see that you're still alive.
to be honest, I'm still a little surprised to see you. I'm can't believe my little sister is a witcher now. Didn't think it was possible.
Almost everybody thought the same. When I went through the Eugen changes. When I went through the training.
Must have been hell. But
You know how it is.
I do.
I never told my parents. Never went back.
I never came back. Either. And I was busy walking the path. I always did wonder what happened to everyone, but
Well, with any luck, the two little ones got old, had families, passed down the bloodline.
come on, we're a stubborn bunch. I bet they have.
Mom and Dad. My God, if they could see us now.
Definitely not how we imagined our life's going along, but gotta work with what we have.
Life dealt us an interesting hand, didn't it?
It did, but at the same time, I have to admit I've grown to appreciate it at times. Other times, I wish I could go back.
You're telling me. You know, I tried to not live my life with fear. But to supplement the fear, I've got a lot of regret.
You'll have to tell me what happened.
Well, and she's going to take off the glove that has a hand that is, her fingers are all crooked, and it looks like her hand has been shattered and permanently bruised.
Ew. Takes a lot for someone like us to get that mangled. What happened?
I was a female witcher. That's what happened. A lot of people don't think that I belong. And maybe they're right.
You live this long, walking the path. I say you belong.
Yeah. I'm Oswald. Seeing you again is surreal.
It is. I feel the same way. It's been too long.
Isn't it always like that?
Very much.
But, you know, I've found people that make life worth living again. So
That's why we need to take care of this Heim problem. You need to live. And I'm not going to let that Heim take that away from you.
how'd you end up as a personal fucking witcher of everything? Of all the paths that you could have walked.
Dealing with, I think being paid for it, it's how it is. It's after dealing with 2 fucking Lushens, it gets around that this guy's good at.
Oh shit. Go figure.
Yep.
Brother and sister. 2 witchers. Both of us serving somebody else. Where you living these days?
Either at the palace or I'm just or serving, and I'm not living much of anywhere these days. Basically, I'm still walking my path. I still go out witchering.
Yeah. God, you're how old now?
Too old.
Yeah, you're telling me. She moves a shoulder forward and it cracked. Oh god, that feels good. Shit. Oh man. It's a relief to see you.
Same.
Gonna be with us much longer.
On behalf of the lady I'm working with, I'm here until you no longer need me. Or until the city, basically, or until she needs me, basically.
Well,
But I'm willing to come with you guys to take down this time.
it'd be nice to see home again.
Whatever may happen with that.
You think our family still owns the building?
Maybe. Let's just hope that they know of our names. Because it's going to be very tricky to be able to get into that Heim. Then.
It's there's 5 of them. And tricking one's difficult enough.
I already heard of one story I've only heard of one trick that worked, and that's the only story I've ever heard of it working. And with 5 of them.
I mean, we'll make it through. can't have any fear.
No fear.
I did meet Geralt of Rivia, though.
You gotta be kidding me. You met the son of a bitch, you.
I met the son of a bitch.
That's the guy who did that Heim trick. You gotta be. Oh my.
Yeah, I met him.
You are going to have to tell me more about this whole.
As a fellow Witcher, gladly. As your little sister, probably shouldn't.
I. Just.
Female Witchers, man. A rarity, a class, and grace, and whatever the fuck. Or something. It's good to see you again, Oswald.
It is good to see you too, Bryn.
Now, you ready to go kick some high mass with me?
Of course.
And with that, the rest of the professionals make their way out to meet with the Witchers, ready to head out as they see fit. Our Witchers remember the way, and they are able to lead whenever they are ready.
Nienna's gonna swing up onto the back of her horse and look over at Bryn. I have a ritual I think could help.
Oh.
It consecrates ground, makes it difficult for monsters to move in or out of the circle, and also makes it almost impossible for them to be able to use any sort of magical effects on anyone inside of the circle. That's where I would suggest putting the person we're trying to focus on first.
That could be very helpful.
As Fenix exits the tavern, he's going to turn and kiss Tasha on the top of the head and say, "Please keep your head low." He's watching all of them move closer and closer as the days go by.
I'll be careful. I do appreciate the warning, though.
Thank you for everything and helping me finish this. It's get the job done if needed.
Of course. What are friends for?
Absolutely. And how much do I owe you again?
Don't worry about it.
That much. Got it. He is going to swing on the back of Victory, not attached to the cart, because I'm not going to need it for this.
Fair enough. And you all are able to set off. The roads of Irileth have changed as much as they've stayed the same. The buildings are... Some are familiar to our Witchers. Some are brand new. Some have very different ownership. Where there used to be a very nice elven family that they would play with the children of, now there are a family of werebubs who are just working to make it day to day. Where there used to be the church is now a much more interesting place. Where there were preachers, now there are apparently scholars. who have come to study and work on what seems to be metallurgy, with the way that there are smiths also working with them. But the roads through the main part of town lead to the outer bank where you remember spending most of your time, where your home was. These buildings have, by and large, stayed the same. Taken care of and repaired as the years went on. Over a century has passed, as you well know. But for the most part, familiarity. They are small, quaint. Those from the inner city would call them cozy, and you would call them bare minimum. And as you all are trotting through, you see several of the peasantry just stopping and watching the rather odd mix and match of the lot of you. Two elves in more high-end clothing, the rather tall craftsman, a dwarf, and a pair of witchers. You all make for a rather interesting bunch, it seems, to these people. And after a short ride, you all have made your way to the building that was your home. A century has passed, and there have been obvious repairs made to the place, but it looks similar. It looks like there has actually been a bit of an expansion, a few more rooms, and what looks to be a small shack outside. There are a pair of young boys that are currently wrestling in the mud outside of it, just in front. And as you all come closer, they stop and get up, still covered head to toe basically in mud, and just sort of stare at you.
Awareness.
Absolutely.
I want to take for lack of a better way to phrase this, a good whiff of this place.
Fair enough.
All right.
I would say Irileth is also aware of unusual behavior. We had a vampiric assassination attempt, so anyone being weird, I'm going to try and clock.
I got
That
Not
would be
followed or
fine.
anything.
Okay, Irileth, give me a human perception roll.
I'm just gonna have Dispel prepped and ready to go to use as a counter magic if needed.
Okay.
21.
And just pulls out a strap.
As you have been moving along, Irileth, you've seen a few people who just take a look and then immediately look away and try to shuffle off. A lot of them know a group that either is here because of trouble or to cause trouble, and they're working to clear out. However,
Good.
there was what looks to be an odd pair, a Ron and a Werebub, that just sort of watched. Didn't do anything, didn't really do too much aside from just keeping their eyes following you as they are working on cleaning what looks to be a set of more ceremonial garments. Fenix, the main scent that comes to mind is just the scent of people who don't have a lot of money.
Ah, the stench of the poor.
That's why I immediately started laughing. Ah, yes, all people.
I'm pretty sure it meant people who can't afford good soap, but I swear to God, I couldn't help myself.
No, that was my first thought. That's what I had to start. Yes, the smell of poor people. Understood.
Sorry,
It's like peasant.
Just
I
Monica.
guess the noble side is starting to come out a little bit.
No, I don't have a noble side. Oh, man.
After living with someone who is nobility for so long and being used to living at least fairly well, it's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
This place also smells a lot more natural. You can smell like fresh grass. You can smell flowers that are blooming naturally here. There are actually a few flowers that just seem to be sticking up here and there, not like planted, but just having appeared naturally, that are around one side of the house. This place doesn't smell weird, at least to your nose right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. The boys who look to be maybe 7 and 8 at the absolute most just sort of meander closer and just look up at the Witchers. Are you fat Cairns?
We are.
We are.
Have you come to take us away?
No.
No.
We're actually hoping your parents might be home, are they?
They just look to each other and then immediately start running back to the house. Ma! Just sprinting at full speed, even going inside, and just you immediately hear, "Why are you tracking Bud into the house?" And then just the usual speak. Though there seems to be a few swears that are in the dialects of the dwarves thrown in there. And out comes a rather young but really strikingly sweet and lovely looking young woman with auburn hair, very just sort of muddy and just as well kept as it can be without having all kinds of the same hygienic and grooming methods that you have available to you. She wears a small sort of rag over her hair and really dirty clothes that looks like she's been busy possibly baking. Oh, and she just immediately just curtsies as best she can. Bow, boys, bow. And they just bow as low as they can, one of them almost falling over again into the mud.
No, not necessary, please.
Right. Sorry, my lady. I didn't. I'm the mother of these two boys. How can I help you?
I'm looking at the two Witchers like, come on, guys.
May I ask your family name?
Brynnhilder. What was the family name that you went by before you were just Brynnhilder of Irileth? Brynnhilder of Nilfgaard.
God, making me do the storyteller thing of coming up with a name on the fly, aren't you?
Oh, but hell yeah.
I love learning when a player didn't give their character a surname. Like, really?
What?
Cool, though.
I'm Brynnhilder, the Witcher. The Witcher is our surname, obviously. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, hello, Mr. the Rivia.
Yeah. We would be God, I'm bad at coming up with shit on the fly.
Would you like me to? I was just wondering if you had something in mind.
The only thing that I can think of is like O'Brien. Boom. Got Woolstone Craft. Whatever stupid law.
Oh. Oh. Well, I'm out.
I think we found a winner though.
Perfect. As you ask the family name, she just like looks a little confused, and she says, "We are the family Burlum lady," and the Witchers know that is their family name from back when that mattered for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See, that's why I don't have a surname. It's been forever.
Has been a century.
My apologies for coming, or for sounding maybe a little bit brash. Do you know how long this home has been in the family for?
She just like looks to the two Witchers and then just stammers up. Yes, it's been with my family for better part of 150 years or so.
And she's gonna get off of Betty.
Get off my horse as well.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Brynnhilder, your great aunt.
And I am Oswald, your great uncle.
She just looks to you both. Her eyes sort of just widen for a moment. And let me make a roll real quick.
Oh shit.
No.
All right. And she faints.
Fucking knew it.
Oh man. Happens every time.
Meanwhile, the boys just look up to both of you and say, "Does that mean we get presents?"
Yes, it does. Hey, how you doing, kiddos? Fenix is gonna get off his horse, reach into the pouch, and guess what I have for the two of you?
Over at Nick, because he's now the person despite not being.
A knife.
He's a craftsman, for the love of fuck. You have a wonderfully carved knight with like a big goofy shield and like a sword or something like that, and a horse to go with it that actually moves its legs and shit. Yeah, a couple of toys.
They are quick to grab the toys and just be thanking Fenix profusely and immediately start playing with the toys.
Yeah, boys, gone on over here. Yeah. Down into the mud. Here you go. Let's have some fun. Oh, those more toys. I got a couple more in the bag. Wake her up.
Siegryn will go over and just try and like, just gently try and clap her face awake. Hey, come on now. Come on, we need you awake.
Give me a roll of 1d10 plus body, please.
Oh. Well, I wasn't going that hard. Okay.
My great niece into oblivion
Yep.
next day.
Okay, 1d10 plus body, you said?
That's the one.
Oh, Jesus, 15.
With that, you just gently try to tap at her face, and she's just like, huh? And she just like comes to really with a start, and then just looks to you and looks to the Witchers again, and scrambles back to her feet and tries to back up a little bit. No, my great grandma said that she always told stories about how her brother got taken, and then someone came in the night and took her sister. And what? She's in like hysterics at the moment.
Well, I mean, your great grandmother was semi-correct. Your uncle was collected by Witchers. And I followed suit.
Oh no. She just looks stunned for a moment, and then she's just, come in, please.
Of course.
And she will open the door and head on inside. And when you all head inside, it is fairly clean, well kept. It looks nice. There are candles all over the place, giving a little bit more light inside. There is a tall, somewhat burly man who is currently looks like he's sort of finishing up whittling things away. And it looks like he's just like whittling away like tools almost. And he looks up and sees that his house is now full of a lot more people, and stands up. Hello? I didn't know that we were to be having guests. And he just looks to his wife, who looks utterly just shocked and confused.
Dazed and confused.
Good morning.
Somebody.
I am Lady Nienna Henbire. These are my companions, Siegryn, the captain of my guard, Irileth, Fenix, the craftsman, and I believe these two have a more personal connection to your family. This is Brynnhilder and Oswald. Witches.
Brynnhilder and Oswald. Wait a minute.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Please don't pass out.
Yeah, please don't faint. We've only got so many ways of waking people up.
No, it's just... It's odd. And he just, like, looks to both of you. So, you two are the ones from the stories.
Stories. Unlikely.
More than likely.
All right then. Sorry, just odd.
We gotta ease into this. Might I suggest we all maybe sit down for some tea?
I think
Talk this out slowly.
that'd be best. And he just looks to the woman that you met, and just says, "Could you take care of that?" She's just immediately rushing off to just get away from this and get a moment to herself to get her thoughts together. And he just sits down, putting out chairs for all of you to sit down as well. Looks like there are several chairs here, like it's a fairly large family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nonetheless, Irileth will stand by the door.
Fair enough.
Fenix will put both kids, muddy as they are, on his shoulders and then sit down so they're like elevated and still, keeping them distracted.
What's Siegryn doing?
Right now, I do have a fair amount of supplies left, right?
Looks that way.
Because, considering we have a fairly large gathering, I think she's probably gonna start prepping just like a big meal, but just something to kind of get everyone at the table and get the conversations flowing a bit more smoothly. Put on some tea to brew.
I love
just
that
try
you
and
just walked into these strangers' houses, like taking over their kitchen.
yeah,
Probably
like this is
more
my
than-
space now.
Oh, which cupboard has the pots and pans? Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
It's like, oh, nope, you sit down. Go back to your chair. You're relaxing. I'm doing this.
Irileth is going to do one thing.
What's that?
As everyone's sitting down, sort of under the guise of helping, get things set for a meal, he's going to take one of the candles and put it in front of the two people living here and then glance at their shadows.
The shadows look normal. No jagged edges, no extended length, just regular shaped shadows.
You said the table was obviously intended for a large family.
Yes.
Are there signs of any other kids here?
The gentleman just looks to you, the Witchers, again, and just says, "I think you'll want to meet the rest of the kids." And he just lets out a loud whistle and aims towards the back of the window and says, "Ozzy, Bree."
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
No.
That's highly uncomfortable.
And they would look to be children of about the same age, probably about 12, both of them, just on the cusp of going into teenage years, make their way inside from working out back, where you can see that they are a set of twins, boy and girl.
Hi there.
Hi.
They just look to the both of you and then just to their father. Dad, who are they? And that is where we are going to end for the evening.